Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to OBA Next. It's so great to see you all here. Well, this is the first edition of Follow Your Dream. My name is Ruud Jansen, and this afternoon we're going to create a little bit of magic together with this amazing lineup. Please give a warm welcome to Nathalie Larose. Nathalie is international DJ, international songwriter and singer. We have Burak Yeter. Burak is a worldwide DJ and performer. And a warm welcome to Marcus Wade. Marcus, so nice that you're here. You are the founder of Salt Shaker Records, and you are a creative entrepreneur and also a music manager. Steve Pajot. Steve, you are a Grammy Award-winning producer and a songwriter. So today we're going to talk about dreams and about successes, but not the shiny side, not only the shiny side of success, but also the setbacks, the disappointments, the challenges. And well, let's make this an unforgettable afternoon. So let's follow our dream. So round number one, and every dream starts with a spark, right? So I would like to take you all back to that moment where your first spark started. Nathalie, may I start with you?
Sure.
So you have come a long way. Well, actually not that far and that long, because you grew up here, right? In Zuidoost, is that right?
Yes, I did.
You did. And when you were a little girl, there was always music around you. Music was your world. You were always performing, and like your living room was your own stage. You went to Lucia Martens Academy, and then you made this bold move. You moved from the Netherlands to the United States. Was that the beginning of your spark? Why did you move to the US?
Yeah. I think the beginning of my spark was when I was really young, when I was, just a little girl, and I discovered that music was really my biggest passion, and with music came singing, songwriting, dancing. So I wanted to do all of that. And I also realized that whenever I was in front of people and, doing my thing, doing my favorite music, it would make me so happy. And it would also make me happy to see other people enjoying it and to see them happy. Like, it gave me a sense of freedom and wow, they love what I do. So I think that was the first thing that really sparked that, wow, look at what I created does for other people. And I know my mom and dad saw that I had a lot of energy. I needed an outlet. So that's when they, exposed me to a lot of different outlets, like dance class, swimming class, karate, the chess class. They put me everywhere. And I love that they did that, because that gave me the opportunity to really discover my passion. And because of that, I discovered that performing, dancing, music was really my biggest passion. And because all of the artists that I looked up to, like Destiny's Child, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Jennifer Lopez, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, all of the greats, because I knew that they were from America, I was like, okay, well, if that's what I want to do as well, I'm going to have to go to America. That was just the logic in my mind. So at a very young age, I think I was 10 years old, I told my mom and dad, I'm going to move to America. And they looked at me and they were like, yeah, fine. You just have to finish your school and then you can do whatever you want.
And then you went to the States.
And that's,
Yeah.
I had a goal, I had a dream, and I knew what I had to do to be able to do that. And that was finish my school and work really hard. And that kind of really kept my drive going, that mission that I was on.
mission and passion. So music was always in your life. And Burk, that's the same for you, right? Burk that was your first language. You grew up half in Turkey, half in the Netherlands, right? And you studied, when you were very little, you made your own studio. And when you were a little bit older, you went to the university and studied civil engineering. And then you also made this bold move, just like Natalie. You went to the UK, to London, to do what? Was that your first part that you thought, I want to do something with the music industry?
Of course, for the first part, it's not easy to get permission from the family because every mom's always telling me the truth. True. They told me you have to be doctor, you have to be engineer. Nobody tell me you have to be DJ or nightlife. It's very easy when I was 5, 6 years old. And then I request from my father small keyboard and I started to learn myself the piano because I was a little bit lucky because my father was also a musician. And of course, they didn't accept becoming DJ. They always waiting for me. You have to be engineer, doctor, something like that. But I followed my dream. A dream came true. And when I was like 18 and becoming the DJ, successful top 100 DJ in the world from the DJ Mag Top 100 magazine. And then I given the right message for them. Look, this is my way. I really like to continue the music. Of course, I can be architect, I can be doctor, engineer, but music is coming from my passion, dream. And I have crazy energy from my heart. I need to keep following my dream. When I saw was when I was 5, 6 years old. And then we started to play piano and then classic music. I play piano and guitar and other instruments. And then I became in conservatoire for years with the classic music. And I finished my school. I given to my license to my mom. I said, Mom, bye. I'm going to be a real DJ. And that's why first you have to show some things for your parents. I know the parents is always wondering you have to be good career for all the time. But I followed my dream. My dreams came to when I was 22 and becoming also producer because DJ is not good enough for your future. And then I say I need to own my production for.
Why was that not good enough?
Yeah, I try to do something for other audience. Because I need to catch the crowd, which is not just for the DJ. Because DJ is good, but after DJ, they all forget you. But if you have song, and they can play your song, the radio station, the festival, something like that, and then you can use your name anywhere, anytime. That's why I tried to make my own production when I was 22 years old. And I opened DJ schools when I was 25. I opened 5 DJ schools, which is Pioneer DJ Academy first. And right now we have 5,000 students, which is the first Amsterdam, and second and Istanbul and Los Angeles. And right now we try to open one more DJ school in London. And because, if you teach and also you learn at the same time to make it your dreams, this came true more than when you imagine.
Yeah.
That's why I'm very happy because all the students play before me, like a warm-up DJs. Mm-hmm. This is also another dream, but I didn't accept these kind of things. But when you share, you grow up. That's why this is my mentality.
It's an amazing story. Nice.
Thank you.
And Marcus, you also, music was all around you when you were a kid. I think you were 13 and then you had your own little music, what was it, recording thing?
Yeah.
And you were always playing music and your whole house was filled with music, jazz, funk, soul.
Yeah.
And your parents really brought you up with music, right?
Yeah, so I'm a church kid, so music literally is my life. I was the weird little kid that also, like, my first hero was Mozart and Beethoven. So I learned to play a little bit, but I grew up in church, so that was really my basis for music. I'm a drummer initially, then played piano a little bit as well. But you asked earlier about the spark. The spark for me came when hearing music in church and seeing how the music itself changes people, how it really gets down into your soul, into your spirit, how you can come into a building and be downtrodden and be depressed, for example, but then the music that's played, the music that's sung, the music that comes out can actually change.
Can lift you up.
Literally lift you up. So that's what sparked me then, and that's why the music that I create and produce and DJ is all about lifting spirits, getting people to see that there's help out there, that God is there for you,
Yeah.
that you don't have to, when you come to a set of mind, you're going to leave differently because the music is going to speak to you specifically.
Yeah, because it's universal language,
Literally,
right?
yes. That's
Yeah.
my whole purpose there,
Yeah.
is to like make music and play it so that I can uplift anybody that comes in the crowd. You know, if it's one person or if it's 10,000, it doesn't matter.
Of course, yeah, I understand. And when you were like older, you played in clubs in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I read that you missed the sound. Was that also the spark of the start of Salt
Salt Shaker.
Shaker
Yeah,
Records? Yeah.
yeah. That was we live in North Carolina, south U.S., and we wanted to do something that was different. Again, it was the same aspect. There's people around us that were hurting and didn't have outlets, so we had a nightclub called Salt Shaker. Salt Shaker is a nightclub, and then Salt Shaker Records came from there,
Yeah.
and we started producing through that.
Yeah. Where does the name Salt Shaker stands for?
So in the Bible says that we are the salt of the earth, so we bring the flavor. So that's where we brought it from that verse. Yeah.
Original.
So
Great.
we're flavorful. That's what it is.
Steve, I'm so happy that you're here. Well, music has always played a big role in your life. When you were a little child, you were always making sounds, fixing cables, and you had friends and they all played ball. But Steve didn't. Steve was busy with music. And I think your father and uncle, they played the music and gave they you the spark?
Yes. Well, it all started when I was 3 years old. My dad bought me a little guitar, and instead of taking me to the park to go and play with the kids, he would give me guitar lessons every day while my mom was at work. So at that time, I would learn all the famous songs, like a lot of Beatles songs, the Jacksons, and he would teach me how to read music. And what's so crazy, in the 70s, the Jackson 5 were very big. So his dream was to have a Jackson 5 band, but the only problem, I was the only Jackson. So sometimes
So you were Tito, Michael.
I had to be Tito, Jermaine,
In one.
Michael. So thank God for me. Later on, my brother Ricky was born, and a few years later, he started playing the guitar and then piano. Yep. So when I was 12, I went to you see, at 8 years old, I started playing the recorder. Till I was 12, and when it was time to go to high school, I went to a high school called Pierre Laporte in French, and it's in the rich part of Montreal. In
Yeah, you grew up in Montreal, right?
Yeah.
No, you were born in New York,
I was
right?
born in New York
And grew up in Canada.
Grew up in Montreal.
Yeah.
So I lived in a neighborhood called Côte de Neige, like regular family people. But the way I went to school, it was on the other side, all the rich kids.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a new life for me. So that's when I learned how to play classical music. So I learned how to play the concert flute. And
wow.
Yeah. So from 12 to 17, I played the flute. And then when I was 17, I wanted to go to Juilliard. And then I invited my parents to come and see me at the last concert that I was giving with the orchestra, the big shebang. So I had them sit in front row seat because I wanted to impress them. Because at the end of the show, I wanted to impress them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the show, I was like, I would like to go to Juilliard.
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, Steve, doing music is very risky. If I were you, I would learn something to fall back on.
Yeah, yeah.
And just like your parents,
Yeah.
And
I think
was
all
like,
parents say that.
Yeah. And I was like, all right. So I studied electronics and computers. I went to college for that, not knowing 20 years later what I studied in college, that's what I was going to use every single day.
Oh, yeah.
The computer.
Yeah. So everything came together.
Everything came together.
Yeah. This is how it works, eh? Yeah. Yeah.
But the spark really happened the night I saw Quincy Jones winning 9 Grammys with Michael Jackson at the Grammys. I was like 14 years old. And every time he would go on stage, I was like, wow. And that
So you want to be like Quincy
Jones. And also I would see all my favorite producers on the covers of magazines like Teddy Riley, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis,
Yeah.
Babyface. So I would close my eyes and pretend I was on the front cover magazine of all
Oh,
these
wow, yeah.
of all these magazines. When I graduated from college, and then I started my own studio. And then when I was 25, I had like $1,000 I had made doing demos. And then when I converted my money into Canadian U.S. currency, I was left with $400.
Oh.
So then I went to New York with $400 in a dream, and I made it happen.
Good for you, Steve.
Thank you.
This is such an inspiring story. That's why we are sitting here, not only to inspire each other, but also the crowd. Yeah. Well, round number 2. And that is recognizing the opportunities, because the music industry throws you a lot. Collaborations, promises, broken promises. And how do you recognize what is truly meant for you, that you can stay true to your own values? Marcus, from your manager's perspective, how do you guide your artists through all these opportunities?
Well, the people we work with, we all have the same common goal. We don't really work with a lot of people. It's really more of a smaller niche of artists. And we all have the goal of wanting to impact the world through the music, literally. You know, for us, it's not necessarily about the fame and the fortune, which, you know, God willing will come. But it's really about this particular song, or if this song can reach someone that is hurting in Amsterdam, if this song that is written in New York can reach someone that's hurting in South Africa, if the message is universal, that's what we're looking for. We're really looking for, particularly in this world right now, particularly the issues that we have in the States, the issues that we have in Europe, the issues that we have in Africa, everywhere.
Far East, yeah.
Literally everywhere.
Middle East,
And
yeah.
you know, the one thing that brings us all together is music, regardless. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter our language, doesn't matter our skin color, doesn't matter any of that. If we can, so that's what we as our artist group, we focus on, making music that way, you know, to impact that. And it doesn't matter if we make $1 million. It matters if can 1 million people hear the words that
It's a
came through the
strong
song.
message.
That's what we're really trying to impact.
Strong message. And Steve, have you ever said no to a project of which other people said, well, Steve, you have to do that because it can give you, you can be famous, you can earn a lot of money. Have you ever stepped away?
Yes, I have. Especially when I didn't think the project that they wanted me to work on would align with my beliefs and what I stand for. Because whatever you do, your name will always be attached to that project.
True.
And I didn't want any bad project to be attached to my name.
No.
Because I saw how Quincy did it. He always worked on the highest level. And he was my blueprint. Like when you would see Babyface, he always worked with the biggest artists.
Yeah.
And every project that all these producers made, they're timeless. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I wanted to be known as
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
also.
So you focus on the long term,
In long term,
Yeah.
yeah. Not about the money, it's about the quality.
the quality, not the quantity. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Natalie, how do you balance between creative freedom and your sustainable career?
Yeah. So for me, that is really something that I had to learn along the way. When I moved to Los Angeles, it was a completely new world for me. I stepped into, this new space. I didn't know anybody. I didn't really know the rules. I didn't have to.
So how old were you when you went to?
I just finished college. Wow. So I was just fresh out of school. And, in the Netherlands, I was a professional dancer. So I already did all the dance gigs that you can do. Like we don't have a very big country.
No.
It's not a big industry. So here I kind of like reached my top. But when I moved to LA, I had to start from the bottom. And I had to really build something. And it was very, very difficult in the beginning. Like even to be able to get gigs, I would do auditions, I would get rejected a lot, and I would call my mom and be like, "Ma, I didn't get the job." And my mom would be like, "Oh, you can always come home." And I would be like, "No, why would I do that? That means I give up."
Yeah.
So that was very difficult to start with.
Yeah.
And on top of that, what I really wanted to do was music. And with music, you don't really do a gig and then you get paid, because I wanted to do my own music.
Yeah.
So that
And it
takes
has to be
time
sustainable,
to build.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to build your repertoire, and then you have to start shopping your music around. So, for me, it was like, oh my God, any opportunity that I can get, I'm gonna take it, because this is Hollywood, and and because of that, I did get into some interesting situations and deals that weren't necessarily beneficial in the long run for me. But what I do have to say, one of those deals did get me a #1 R&B pop radio on pop rhythmic radio in the United States. So that's kind of like the consideration, but as I get older, like, would I change it? Not for anything in the world. But as I got older, I realized listening more to my intuition rather than grabbing the first next best possible opportunity that comes my way.
I think that's the best compass. Listen to your intuition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And since
Yeah.
I've been doing that, it's guided me in such a great direction. I can make decisions that are really aligned with my morals and values. And I think as I got older, you have to live and you learn, right? So as I got older, I learned. I went through my trials and tribulations, and I made mistakes. And I'm happy I made those mistakes, because I learned from it.
Yeah, because you learned from it.
Yeah.
How about you, Burak? How was your journey choosing between what is good for you, or what is your story?
Actually, I like to travel, because every single day, and we go in different countries. It's like a bee, going to all the flowers, taking the best honey. That's why I cannot stay more than 3 days any country. I don't know why.
Wow.
But I like to travel to get different energy from my music, for making more commercial things for everyone, actually. That's why before I used to play one of the biggest festivals like Tomorrowland, Coachella, Burning Man. And I said, we have to do something different, unique, no one done before project, which means like you see my costume, like kind of.
Yeah.
I was a dream when I was 5. I always tried to be an astronaut, but becoming DJ, same time architect. But I followed my dream till COVID happened. I find the right time to own my capsule to go into 55,000 feet.
Yeah.
I still don't believe I make it this. It was dream is came true.
Yeah.
Honestly, dream is for me true. True is dream. I totally look in the other side.
Yeah.
And now I will bring my capsule here after like 5-10 minutes. Let's see. The people need to see, to get in touch, the real capsule which is going to space. And why I play in the space, this is the most important things, because music is universe, even the space. Music should be everywhere, not just in the club and the festival. And I like to give right message for the people. Music is universe, even in the space.
Yeah.
That's why I hope I make it something good things for everyone.
Thank you so much for this nice story. Round number 4 is when dream meets reality. Yeah, let's talk about the tough part, because success doesn't come overnight for nobody. We have all faced rejections. Well, Burak, you have worked incredibly hard where you're now. How do you deal with the intense, like you tour a lot? How do you stay balanced? But for your mental health, how do you keep that in balance?
I want to be honest. Beginning of the project, nobody believed me. Ever say, "Oh, get out of here! It's just joke." It's like Photoshop, something like that. But right now, people need to see end of the results, and then you can do next. Because why? They always start with the minus. I mean, nobody believe, nobody support you. Okay, you have some of the people around you, especially you need a partner. And every people try to find the right partner, get them, invest your name, invest your project, something like that. But they want to make sure also, because they have so much people try to find the company to bring your logo, something like that, for the next investment. But right now, of course, we have second chapter. The first, it was very hard to try to explain for the people. But right now, I'm okay because I make it already done. That's why this is my second chapter coming to. But for the beginning, of course, it's very hard to explain for the people. Still, if I explain for the people I was in a space, they say, oh, you're playing a space club. Can you put my name in the guest list? And what do you mean guest list? I'm going to talk about the real space. Because they don't have region. They don't understand what you're doing. But I'm sure for the kids, for the next generation, better than our generation, because we're a little bit old school. We try to explain for my mom, father, we make it, we will do something like that. But the next generation is kids crazy. You know, like they are using TikTok and they are using Snapchat. They have amazing social media. Even the same time they are talking with you, they are using the social media. That's why I bring my phone here, but I'm not using it. But I mean, like, we have to respect for them. Because they are think about it totally different. I think they open their third eye when they're younger.
And it's amazing. I think our youth, that's the future. Let's talk about giving something back. I mean, we have all built on your amazing career. Steve, why is it so important for you, just like Burak, that you share your knowledge?
The reason why it's very important to me is to make sure the progress of what the generation before me started, that it continues. From what I learned, it's for me to pass it down to the next generation so that they continue the same work, but on a bigger level. And it's important to guide them into the right direction so they don't fall into these situations where they're compromising their worth. You know what I mean? Because when you see something shiny in front of you, if you don't have control of yourself, you will go after it and fall for it. And most of the time, what's glitter is not gold. You know what I mean? So
you had to learn it by yourself.
I had to learn it, but lucky for me, I had a strong foundation, my education and the belief in God. And my aunt in New York would always tell me, don't fall for the good taste. You know what I mean? So when I'm giving back, I'm teaching all these young producers, songwriters, what to watch for. And I'm glad to be able to do this through the Grammy U. It's another organization at the Recording Academy. And we have, every year, they team us up with the mentees and we are the mentors. And just to teach them the right things about the music business.
Thank you for this. Grammy U?
Grammy U.
It's like a sort of academy?
Yes, it is. It's part of the Recording Academy.
And how can you apply for that?
You got to go and apply. You got to go on the Recording Academy website, and there's a special department that says Grammy U, and you apply for it. A lot of times, it's a lot of schools that apply for it, and all the students get to go through the mentors through the organization of the Grammy.
Amazing. And I think you also do something with a foundation, right, Natalie?
Yes. So about a year ago, I started a foundation. It's a nonprofit and it's called Chic Foundation. And Chic stands for creativity, hope, inspiration, and confidence. And with those 4 values, I kind of want to transfer that to the youth. So I work with a lot of young people. I did a project in Suriname, that's where my family is from, where I did a big dance workshop with really talented dancers from there.
Inspiring.
And I shot my music video with some of the dancers in Suriname. And for me, the goal is to give the youth inspiration, teach them how to believe in themselves, how to deal with, challenges. I've been through my own challenges, and I didn't necessarily have the tools to navigate until I did, because I started working on myself. And I think it's important that you learn from a young age how to navigate through life and how to keep believing in yourself, how to block yourself out from the outside noise. I always say inner voice over outside noise, because what's within is the most important.
For sure.
And I'm gonna start working in LA with a school starting November, where I'm gonna work for 6 weeks with students where they create their own showcase. So they're gonna write their own song, they're gonna create their own choreography, and I'm gonna guide them through it. And while they're being creative, I teach them the power of their mind, how to manifest, how to take the steps towards your goals, and how to collaborate. And even though if they don't end up doing anything with music in life, it's such an amazing tool to have for anything you do in life.
Yeah, you inspire them. You give them self-esteem. You two
Absolutely.
should
We
team
should
up.
talk.
You should team up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. So Marcus, what do you tell your pupils? What give you your pupils for message to keep in balance their mental health, to make the right choices?
Well, we were kind of talking about success earlier, and one thing I tell them is that everybody's definition of success is different.
Yeah.
You know, that what you see on TV or what you really see on social media may be fake success. You know,
Yeah.
What does success mean to that particular person? You know, it could be, hey, I want to be able to elevate my family out of poverty, a certain area, or I want to be able to perform in space and go and perform on Mars. Maybe it's the next one, or I may be the kid from New York that went to that grew up in Canada and then worked with the top people in hip hop, you know. Or I'm the artist from Amsterdam that moved to LA to chase their dreams. Everybody has a success route. You got to first decide what is your success, what is your route, what are you going after, and then give it all. If you want to go for it all the way.
Yeah.
No holds barred. The thing is, even if you fail, you've come so far. You're closer to your success than what you were when you started. You know, just be able to have that attitude of let me strive for that helps them in that way. And then sometimes take what's traditional and make it non-traditional. You know, think outside the box. Don't get locked into if they produce this way, I have to produce that way. No, you don't.
You have to listen to your inner voice.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That is the only genuine compass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Blaze your own trail.
Yeah.
So.
And Burak, what would you say to the little Burak of 13, 14? What is your advice to this little guy?
Oh my God, we have a crazy story. But I mean, I always give an opportunity for everyone, because if you give opportunity, and you can learn so many crazy things even from the kids.
Yeah.
Because I always listen all of them. It's not like we are the kids, you stay here, you know, just skip the line, something like that. I always listen everybody, because every people, they have different potential.
Yeah.
And I opened DJ school. That's why right now we have 5,000 students, but the 10,000 could be like better than everyone, because we can give right opportunity for everyone, and then they can do better than maybe for you. They can pass me. They can do better than for me. It's okay. But I always giving the right things for them, because the beginning of the project, you know, we always start with the minus. Nobody push you, nobody invests you, and we learn everything ourselves. You know, we all talk each other from the studio. What we can do more, what we can do, find the solution for the next things, and then maybe some people are lucky. You know, they have some investors behind them. They can push for the market, even with the sorry shit songs, but they're on the top 10. And I say, yeah, it's not true. I mean, like, it's not the right things. It should be top 10 songs, top 10 artists, something like that. Then you understand they have behind the setup. And what I think is the pure things, the magical things, the people understand is the right or good, bad things. That's why I like to be a little bit pure, organic, something good, unique, no one done before. I always push in this kind of market for everyone. This is my biggest opportunity for the kids.
Do you agree, Natalie?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And you, Steve?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All the way.
Yeah. Marcus, you guide your pupils, your artists. Is there also some times that you think, oh, she or he has no talent? Are you like, do you say that to them?
Often like I can't sing. Well, you put some auto tune on there, maybe you can. Well, there's people, to be truthful, that may not have. It really depends on what your talent is and how you're coming in there. There's always training. You know, if they're maybe they are new to singing and they don't have the chops, so to speak. There's always training. You know, even like with Steve when you started playing classic. I mean, we probably were like, I know when I was playing piano, I'm horrible. It's terrible, but it took years.
Yeah,
it
practice
takes
makes
time.
perfect.
Yeah.
But I ask that because sometimes you see a lot of, not a lot, but sometimes you see on social media, they have this big following, you know, but when I listen to them or when I see them, I think, well, it doesn't make any sense, but because they're pretty and, you know, like the influencers, you know?
Yeah. Well, nowadays it's a whole package deal. You know, when I'm a little bit older, I think. I know you said 70s,
No, you're
so
not.
you're in my area. This is pre social media. You know, you had to, you know, everything was
You had to
talent
perform.
based.
You had to be
perform and
quality,
you
yeah.
create it like that.
But nowadays,
and
it's-
now we're in an age where you have tools that can help you to perform, help you to even write complete songs and the whole deal.
like AI. I
Yeah.
mean, is that also for your work? I mean, AI is a big thing for producing sounds for as a DJ. Do you see that as an improvement? Is it or AI or?
For old school people, they don't like it,
No,
100%. But for me,
neither do
honestly,
I.
it's so easy way to make it a music. I can
Yeah.
make a song like
But is it
5 minutes.
music?
Yeah, it's not a music, but it's like kind of music. I mean, it's not the right frequencies, but if you talk about the right frequencies, we have to go all the way back to when we talk about the Mozart, Beethoven.
Yeah.
Because right now, they want to give not right message for the people, not the right frequencies. You know, all the close your eyes and don't think about it, don't feel it, no emotional things. You know, all the emotional things coming from the old school. Can you imagine? That's why we
So
really
true.
miss to listen to old sounds. When I was like 5 years old, I was cry when I listened to any kind of sound. Okay, we talk about maybe old school vinyl technology, something like that, very analog system. But right now, everything's digital. Everything's super fake. I mean, like, I cannot feel very well like when I was 5.
No.
I'm honest. Maybe
Yeah, you
kids
miss the
doesn't exist.
emotion, right?
But like, I cannot explain to kids, hey, look, okay, this is the sound, is fully digital, but when I was 5, it was super emotional. Right now, I'm so sorry, it's not.
But you know, also think of how music has moved over
Evaluated.
time. So it was just vinyl. Well, maybe 8-track. Let's go way back there. Cassettes. Does anybody even know what a cassette tape? And when
with
we
the
grew
pencil,
up, we
you had
had
to,
the boom box with the cassette with the cassettes in there now. So music has evolved over time. I remember doing DJ gigs in college with crates of music.
Yeah.
And it was a big thing to go from vinyl to MP3s. What?
Yeah.
It was a big thing.
Yeah.
It took
But
years.
wasn't it also that in the 80s, that's when kind of an electronic music started coming up,
Yeah.
and there was, you know, people were like, "What is this?
Exactly.
We don't like it."
Exactly. They
What
said
is
it
this?
wasn't good.
What
They
is this
didn't like it.
garbage?
Exactly.
And then it became huge.
Exactly.
And
So-
then now it's AI, and I do understand there's apps right now that can literally create a whole song for you.
I know.
You just tell them,
Yeah.
I want a country song that is about, I went to a bar and I lost the love of my life, and it'll create,
Yeah.
you can tell them if you want a female or a guy voice. So
I find
yeah,
it a
it
little
goes
bit
really
fun.
far, but I think for musicians, it could be a helpful tool
Yes.
if it's used the right way.
Yes.
But I think it's just important that you have some discernment in the way you use it, that it, you know, it still comes from you, and
Yeah,
it's
that-
still your inspiration and, you
It's
know,
your
creation.
sound, your genuine sound.
Yeah, but you just help it as your musical assistant.
And
yeah.
do you agree, Steve?
Yeah, totally. I like what you just said. Use it as your musical assistant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not make it your main
Yeah.
creator. You understand? Like for me, it helps me a lot. I understand that people don't really like the AI, But as far as us who know how the foundation, when we use it, it just adds to our knowledge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think
know-
it would also show for like real musicians that use the tool, they would get, you know, the great results than people that don't do music and use the tool. Like you will probably also notice the difference in, you know, the way you use it. I think the same thing goes with video editing, or, you know, like the people that are also already great at videography and editing, when they use that tool, they're gonna just excel.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you a
Yeah.
production example.
Yeah.
Pre-AI, if I wanted to get like a specific horn sound on the track, I would either have to try to find a library pack to play it, or find a musician in my city to play it live, which I would send them the track. They would play it live, bring it back to me. I would test it out, get 4 or 5 different versions, go in the studio, comp it down, the whole deal. Now, what I just did was I could sing the actual melody that I want. Because the best instrument, we are the best instrument ourselves,
Yeah.
right? So if I can sing it, take that, drop it in, get it MIDI, pull it in and say, now, take this and give me an idea. I want this to be a trumpet sound, but I want it muted. I want to give me this effect, give me a tremolo effect on that, and bring it back, and it give me that one piece. Then I could take that piece, put it back into my original track to give me exactly what I want.
So it's complementary.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Use it as a tool, just like you said, as a tool.
Thank you.
You know what's so crazy? It's now that people are really understanding or learning about AI, but us creators, we've been working with the AI assist tool, but it wasn't called AI.
You're right.
Like take a bass line and convert the audio into MIDI.
Yep,
That's all
exactly.
AI,
Is
but it wasn't called AI.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So us creators, we know how to push the technology. We're not letting the technology control us. But if you don't have the foundation, you're gonna let it control you and be stuck with what it's giving you.
Yeah, for sure.
Really a good one. Yeah. Thank you. So if in one sentence, what does follow your dream mean to you, Burak? Or in 2 sentences or 3?
Keep going. Don't listen to anybody. I mean, first, and you have to, believe yourself. Close your eyes. Feel something good. Doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, because we have one life. To enjoy your life, first you have to enjoy your life, and after you can find the right people which is next to you. You have to own your small team, right behind, front. It doesn't matter, position. I always try to give opportunity for any kind of person. It doesn't matter where people came from. That's why I did this project, which is amazing for me. I break the record. It was the first live concert in space. Maybe I get the license from the Genius Pop. It's like you finish the school, they give into a license, and is not a things for me.
No.
Actually. This is for me beginning.
Yeah.
For the giving another inspiration for the another kids, and then I was thinking, yeah, we can do next for the next generation, because my dream started when I was 5 years old, when I get small toys from my grandfather. He gave me the capsule, and I follow my dream, and then oil my capsule. And right now, of course, I will do 10,000 toys for the kids. Next month, I will go to all the schools giving to you inspiration for the kids, because everything starts with the toys. Can you imagine? And toys connect with the music, universe is all connect each other. That's why space. Okay, we are inside this space already. Just close your eyes, you're space already. And I give into right message, I hope, for the next generation people, because I was cried when my dreams came true. Even I will see my capsule, I'm very excited, because it's very hard to bring the capsule here from the Germany.
But you managed, yeah,
Yeah,
right?
it's coming. It's like 5-10 minutes. You will see the capsule. It was very, very stuck. Me and 2 captains, we were inside the capsule going to 55,000 feet, and it was a big risk. It was a big risk. Maybe I was supposed to be in another country, another planets, but end of the day, we make it.
Yeah.
We make it for the next. That's why we can talk about what is the next.
Thank you. Marcus, in a few sentences, What does follow your dream means to you?
For me, it means that understand the reason why you're actually here. It's bigger than music. It's bigger than that. It's what were you specifically created to do in this earth,
Yeah.
and why does it matter? You know.
But how do you come to that point?
For me, how I got to that was
Yeah.
my relationship with God, because I'm nothing. I'm not anything, you know.
No.
But He gave me a mission to reach people through the music that I'm able to create. So I get the opportunity to come here to do this, to meet Maura, to meet Natalie, to meet Steve, and to be able to travel the world and impact people through music.
Music.
But that's for me. What's for you? What's for you? What's for everybody out there? That's the dream. The dream is to be able to say, you know what? This is what my mission in life was, and I fulfilled that. I can now go on, you know?
Thank you.
That's it. That's the whole purpose.
Beautiful.
Natalie, in a few sentences, what does follow your dream?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah, for me, following my dream is really like following your highest frequency. So whatever supports you being in your highest frequency, where you feel at your best and your strongest, I think that's the dream. Like, I think all of our purpose should be living the highest version of ourselves. And to me, that comes in many different forms. For me, it's healing the world with my music, spread love, pushing and inspiring the next generation, because they're the new future.
Yeah.
Giving them my knowledge and experience so they can have the tools and resources to thrive as the new future adults. And I think the world needs more love. I think a lot of things that are happening in the world right now come from a place that's being done by people that are not the highest version of themselves. You know, there's parts of them that need healing. And that's why I think healing is so important. That's why I want to give healing, but that's why I also want to heal myself so I can give the best version of me to the people that I reach. And yeah, for me, that's following your dream.
That's
Wow.
good. That's good.
Thank you so much for sharing this, Natalie. And Steve, what does follow your dream means to you?
To me, it's going after something that's hurting you inside. Like, it's a burning desire. You know, when it could be anything, like if you see a beautiful house and you're saving your money, you know you got bills, and in order to buy the house, you gotta finish paying all your bills, and you put your mind towards the house you wanna buy. That goal will help you pay all your bills, no matter how long it takes. It's getting something that you can see before you even get it.
So like visualizing.
Visualizing.
Yeah.
And that's how I started visualizing when I was a kid. I remember when I was 12 years old and I saw a racing track with the remote control, and then I saw it in a flyer, and it was right before Christmas. And I knew my mom didn't have any money. It was too much for my parents. It was like $300 in 1984, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for some reason, I looked at it and I closed my eyes. And then one day, and right before Christmas, I told my mom about it. And on Christmas night, it was in my living room. I was like, wow. And I was like, from that day on, I'm gonna visualize everything I want. And that's how, seriously, and it worked. It's like
It
before going
works.
to New York,
Yeah.
I visualized myself
Yeah, you
winning a Grammy, being in magazines.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I visualized it before it even happened.
visualize equals for me faith. Faith. And that's
Believe.
that's my follow my dream. Keep the faith. So yeah.
So that's what dreaming is all about to
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Thank you so much. So, we're going to wrap it up, but we have one question from the audience. So what would you like to ask?
Hi, my question is for all of you, looking back now, were there moments where you wanted to quit? And if so, what did you do to get back on that track?
Well, I never thought about quitting. You can't think about quitting, because once you think about quitting, that means you don't believe in what you've been working for. You know what I mean? So, and also I didn't want to quit because I didn't want my friends back in Montreal to be like, I knew he wasn't going to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, there was a moment where I got very close to wanting to quit because I lost my voice in 2017. And I didn't know what was going on. My vocal cords just literally started spasming. And it took me about almost a year of not being able to speak and sing before I was able to figure out what was going on. So for me, that was a very, very difficult time because my music is my livelihood, my bread and my butter. So to lose the one thing that is your biggest passion, that was like a very, very low moment. And so first was depression, and then I was like, no, this cannot be the end. Like this cannot be where I quit. So that was a big turning point for me. First of all, I was like, okay, I love music. What else can I do without having to use my voice? And that's when I started DJing. And I say that because sometimes in life, things might not go exactly the way you had envisioned it. Like you can have a vision and visualize, but you will never know what life will throw at you along the way. And that's the moment where you gotta get creative and, take a little detour or jump over the hurdle or, whatever that may look like. And I'm so happy that I started DJing and started working on myself as well. I started meditating, started doing breath work. So all these things to get closer to myself, to block out whatever was distracting me or maybe, putting pressure on me from the outside and really looking within. What do I need? What am I looking for? What really makes me happy? What calms down my nervous system? And when I started learning that, my voice started opening up. Like 3 years ago, I wasn't able to talk to you like this. That would sound like this, like literally. And so it's such a big blessing that happened to me because that was the moment I started doing the work on myself. And so those are the two important things: be creative and work on your inner self and keep going.
Thank you.
So what I would say is for you to understand the reason why you're here, kind of like I said earlier, that you're here to do the thing that God made you to do on this particular, if it's music, if it's impacting people around the world, that's for you. That's the drive. That's what drives you, because it's not in you doing it yourself. It's His help coming to bring you forward through it. No matter the situation, no matter if the money's a little funny, no matter the obstacle that may come through there, if you have the faith that we was talking about earlier, that will drive you through that, the doors will open. But you have to make sure that, all right, I know that, but I'm still going to drive and push forward. No matter if it's dark outside, still drive forward. No matter if the hill is tall, still climb that hill, because you will get there. You may stumble, you may fall back. Some people may have to help you, but you still get there though, okay? That's it.
I don't want to say anything. You tell everything, actually. This is amazing, by the way, story. But I always, if something happened, it's always happening all the time, especially last minute happened, the show is canceled, the COVID happened, so many crazy things. We lost inspiration, especially before the stage all the time. But I was giving the right message for the people. I'm using the 5 elements, which is music, love, energy, passion, and dream.
Wow. Thank you. So, I had an unforgettable afternoon. I hope you too. You all inspired me, and well, let's keep on dreaming. Let's keep on creating, and don't forget, there is always someone outside who wants to be inspired by your story. Thank you for having
Absolutely.
you here. Thank you so much.